Video game adaptations of movies or movie tie-ins. The words alone can make any gamer recoil in horror. They're usually a cheap cash grab, a buggy mess, and offer nothing original or new. But every so often we get a movie tie-in that doesn't suck. Shocking, I know. So buckle up because today we're counting down 10 surprisingly good video game movie tie-ins. And stick around to the end because I've got a couple of bonus games just worth a shout out to. So let's jump right in. At number 10 is Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Released back in 2002, this game actually slapped. It was a hack and slash action game, and before you roll your eyes, hear me out. You got to play as Aragorn, Legolas and Gimli, and just absolutely mow down hordes of orcs. Seriously, it felt you were there in the thick of the battle at Helm's Deep, just slicing and dicing. You could upgrade your characters, unlock combos, and it really felt like you were a badass ranger, elf, or a very angry dwarf. And get this, the game actually used footage from the movie. They blended in-engine footage with footage from the movie, so it felt like you were actually playing through the film itself.
It wizard.
Saruman.
In that great forest, many paths converged.
It cannot be.
Sure, it wasn't perfect, the camera could be a bit wonky and sometimes you just get swarmed and button mash your way out, but honestly, it was just so much fun. It captured the sheer visceral action of the movies and let you live out your fantasy of being a hero in Middle-earth. If you're feeling nostalgic or just want to relive the glory of Helm's Deep, give the Two Towers game a go. Just watch out for the Urukai, they're a bit stabby. Now at number 9, I've got X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Science would have us believe that we have nearly lost our animal instincts. But with discipline, training, you can uncage them and turn a man into a weapon.
Alright, claws out, cigar in folks, because we're talking about X-Men Origins Wolverine, Uncaged edition. Now, let's be real, the movie, let's just say it wasn't winning any Oscars, but the game, that was a whole different beast. Or Wolverine, I guess. This wasn't your typical superhero game, this was a visceral hack and slash and everything else you can think of slash fest. You could literally tear enemies apart, impale them on spikes and throw them off cliffs, and just cause carnage all round as the adamantium-laced mutant badass. The regeneration mechanic was great. You'd take damage, you'd see the flesh tear away, but then it would just knit itself back together. It felt powerful, it felt brutal, and it felt exactly like Wolverine should. And the environmental kills were just as good. You could use anything and everything to take down your foes. Spikes, fans, explosive barrels, it was like a playground of pain. And the boss fights? Intense. They were challenging, they were epic, and they really tested your skills. And when you went into rage mode, oh boy, things got messy. It was like Wolverine decided to unleash every ounce of fury he had. And let's be real, that's a lot. Now it wasn't all over the top rage-fueled chaos, there was a few stealth sections, a bit of detective work, but let's be honest, we were here for the claws. This game understood what Wolverine was about, brutal, unapologetic action. So, if you're looking for a superhero game that lets you unleash your inner berserker, and you don't mind a bit of, well, a lot of blood, then X-Men Origins Wolverine is your game. Just try not to get too carried away or you might end up tearing your sofa apart. Now, down at number 8, I have the Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay. Alright, let's talk about a movie tie-in that shockingly exceeded expectations, the Chronicles of Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay. This game was a prequel to Pitch Black, and this wasn't your typical run-and-gun shooter. It was a first-person, action stealth game with a heavy emphasis on using the shadows to your advantage. You felt like a predator, lurking in the dark, taking down guards with brutal efficiency. And the melee combat was surprisingly satisfying. You could chain together combos, use improvised weapons, and really feel like a hardened criminal. And the atmosphere? Man, Butcher Bay was a grim, oppressive place. The developers really nailed the prison vibe, with its claustrophobic corridors, flickering lights, and constant sense of danger.
Welcome to Butcher Bay. Triple max security prison. Toughest slam in the universe. Impossible to escape.
It was like a sci-fi prison simulator, but, you know, fun. And the visuals, they were ahead of their time, with a unique art style that really captured the grimy, futuristic look of the Riddick universe. The dialogue was surprisingly well written too, and the characters were interesting and memorable. They had quite a few stars voicing various characters. Vin Diesel actually voiced Riddick, but there was also Ron Perlman, Exhibit, Cole Hauser, and Michael Rooker. It felt like you were playing through a genuine Riddick prequel, expanding the lore and giving us a glimpse into his past. Sure, there were some action-packed moments, but the game really shined when it let you use your wits and stealth skills. And those eye-shine moments, pure cinematic brilliance. You felt like you had a genuine edge, being able to see in the dark. So, if you're looking for a movie tie-in that actually delivers and you want to experience a gritty, atmospheric sci-fi adventure, Escape from Butcher Bay is your game. Just remember, shadows are your friends and guards are just, well, targets. Now, down at number 7, alright agents, let's talk about a game that's practically a national treasure. GoldenEye 007 for the N64, released in 1997. This wasn't just a movie tie-in, it was a revolution. Before GoldenEye, console FPS games were, well, let's just say they were a bit clunky, but Rare changed everything. This game captured the tension and espionage of the James Bond film perfectly. The levels were brilliantly designed, from claustrophobic corridors of the facility to the sprawling expanse of the Siberian level. And the objectives, they weren't just about shooting everything that moved, you had to complete specific tasks, like disabling security systems or rescuing hostages. It felt like you were actually on a mission. And the weapons are the weapons. From the trusty PP7 to the devastating golden gun, each weapon felt unique and satisfying. And let's not forget the gadgets. The watch, the laser, the remote mines. They added a layer of strategy that was unheard of at the time. But the real magic of GoldenEye was the multiplayer. Split-screen battles with your friends, legendary. The frantic firefights, the hilarious deaths, the endless trash talk, everything about it was just pure fun. Even the soundtrack was amazing, and it has what I think, even to this day, is the best pause music in any game ever made. Sure, the game had its quirks and it doesn't look the best now. There's been a few remasters, but it's still a great game. The AI could be a bit wonky and there were a few glitches and exploits that players love to abuse, but those quirks just added to the charm. It was a game that was meant to be played with friends, and those shared experiences are what made it so special. Now down at number 6, I've got Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. The only thing bad about this game is the title. Why they went for that, I'll never know. But Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie, right, that's the last time I'm saying that. King Kong is not some run-of-the-mill cheap ad for the movie. It's an immersive and thrilling experience. The game took the movie and put you right in the middle of it.
And action! Scream, man! Scream for your life!
What was that?
You play as Jack Driscoll, fighting for survival on Skull Island. The immersion was insane. There was no HUD, so you had to look inside your weapon to see how much ammo you had left, or actually listen to Jack's internal monologue as he verbally counts out how much he has left. You felt every swing of your makeshift spear, every desperate scramble for ammo. It was like being trapped in a terrifying, beautiful jungle. The combat was intense and challenging. You were constantly facing off against terrifying creatures from giant spiders to ferocious dinosaurs. The game did an excellent job of making you feel vulnerable. You weren't a superhero, you were just a guy trying to survive. This combined with what I previously mentioned about the lack of HUD forced you to rely on your senses, to listen for danger and to stay in the shadows. Oh yeah, then there's the parts where you play as Kong himself, platforming your way through ancient ruins, throwing boulders, swinging through the jungle and doing normal everyday things like having a fist fight with a T-Rex or climbing the Empire State Building. The game even has an alternative ending where you can take control of one of the planes attacking Kong on top of the Empire State Building and shoot down the other attackers, then you see Kong back on Skull Island. The game seamlessly switching between Jack's survival horror and Kong's raw power creates a dynamic and engaging experience, and the result is a game that's both thrilling and immersive. If you do want to give this a go, I highly recommend it. Just try not to get eaten by anything too big, okay? At number 5 is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game. Alright, let's talk about a game that was actually delisted 4 years after it was released, and then after fans continuously asking, and with the help of the creators, came back from the dead in 2021 with Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game Complete Edition. This wasn't just a movie tie-in, it was a love letter to classic beat-em-ups, with a whole lot of quirky charm and a dash of indie rock attitude. This game is gorgeous. The pixel art is vibrant and expressive, perfectly capturing the look and feel of the movie and comic books. You play as the titular Scott Pilgrim, and you fall in love with Ramona Flowers. The only problem is there's 7 evil exes who want to control her life, and it's your job to take them down and to free her, so you can start a relationship. The combat? Oh man, it's so satisfying. You punch, kick, grab and unleash special moves on hordes of enemies. It's like a retro beat-em-up arcade game, but with a modern twist. It's fun, it's addictive, and there are light RPG elements too, so you can level up and unlock new abilities. You really feel like you are growing stronger with each fight. And then there's the boss fights. They're epic. At the end of each stage you fight one of Ramona's evil exes. They are unique, challenging, each with their own crazy attacks and patterns. They are tough but fair, and defeating them feels like a real accomplishment. The soundtrack is amazing too. They absolutely nailed the chiptune soundtrack. It's catchy, energetic, and perfectly complements the game's fast-paced action. And let's not forget about the co-op. Piling onto the couch with your friends and beating up bad guys together, pure bliss. So, if you're looking for a beat-em-up that's stylish, addictive and full of heart, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World the game is your jam. Just watch out for those vegan powers, they're surprisingly effective. Down at number 4 is Mad Max. I will never stop hyping up this game at every given opportunity. We're talking about Mad Max, a game that took the raw, brutal energy of the film and unleashed it into a sprawling, open-world wasteland. This isn't just a movie tie-in, it's a gritty, visceral experience that truly captures the spirit of the Mad Max universe. Let's be real, the heart of Mad Max is the vehicle combat, and this game absolutely nails it. The car customization is insane, you can build your own magnum opus, equip it with all sorts of deadly weapons and just wreak havoc on the roads. And the destruction is glorious. Crashing into enemy vehicles, ramming them off cliffs, blowing them to smithereens, it's pure, unadulterated chaos. But it's not just about the cars. The melee combat is brutal and satisfying, using the free-flow style combat made famous in the Arkham games. You can punch, kick, grapple and execute devastating takedowns. And the upgrade system lets you enhance Max's abilities, making him a true wasteland warrior. The open world is vast and desolate, you can explore the wasteland, scavenge for resources and complete side missions for the various factions. It feels like you're truly living in a post-apocalyptic world, fighting for survival. And the weather effects are intense. There's sandstorms, thunderstorms and it all adds to the atmosphere. Sure, the story wasn't the most complex, but it served its purpose. It gave you a reason to explore the wasteland, to build your magnum opus and to take down Scrotus. The characters were also suitably weird and memorable, fitting right into the Mad Max universe. Like I said at the beginning of this entry, this game deserves way more love and attention, and I will, at every opportunity I have, advise you to go play it. At number 3 is Alien Isolation. This game wasn't just a movie tie-in, it was a love letter to the original Alien film, a masterclass in tension and a truly terrifying experience. This game isn't about shooting your way through hordes of aliens, this is about survival. You play as Amanda Ripley, searching for her mother on a desolate Sevastopol station, and the atmosphere is thick with dread. The flickering lights, the creaky metal and the constant sense of being watched, it's all incredibly immersive and tense. The Xenomorph, it isn't just a mindless monster, it's intelligent, unpredictable and relentless. It learns your patterns, it hunts you down and it makes you feel utterly helpless.
Stop. Not so fast, y'all. You think you can just up and run away? You crazy. I like to eat people from other planets.
The crafting and resource management adds another layer of tension. You have to scavenge for supplies, build tools and use your wits to survive. But it isn't just the Xenomorph you have to worry about. The other inhabitants of the Sevastopol station are also a threat. The desperate humans, the malfunctioning androids, they all add to the sense of danger and paranoia. The sound design that's gone into this game is completely unmatched. The Xenomorph's footsteps, the hissing of the vents, the ambient noise, it all combines to create a truly terrifying soundscape. You are constantly on edge, listening for any sign of danger. Everything combined really captured that feeling of terror and adrenaline-pumping horror the films are known for. So, if you're looking for a survival horror game that will truly test your nerves and capture the atmosphere of the original Alien film, Alien Isolation is your game. Just remember, in space, no one can hear you scream. Except the Xenomorph. That'll definitely hear you. At number 2 is Spider-Man 2, 2004. Let's talk about a game that set the standard for superhero open world games, Spider-Man 2, a whole 14 years before Insomniac's modern Marvel Spider-Man masterpiece. This game showed us what it truly felt like to be Spider-Man, and let me tell you, it was glorious. The web swinging, revolutionary. It wasn't just about pressing a button and flying through the air, you had to build momentum and use the environment. You actually had to swing from buildings too. It felt so fluid and natural. The open world New York City, it felt alive. You could swing through the streets, stop random crimes, rescue citizens, and just explore. The combat was also surprisingly good. You had a variety of combos, you could use your webs to swing and throw enemies, and the enemy variety kept things interesting. It wasn't just about punching, it was about being creative and using your environment. The story missions followed the movie's plot, but also expanded on it, giving us way more to do and explore. And the boss fights, especially the Doc Ock encounter, were epic. They were challenging, they were cinematic, and they really tested your skills. So if you finish playing through the Insomniac Spider-Man games, I implore you to go back and play this masterpiece. You will find a hell of a lot of Insomniac's inspiration, and you will have a hell of a lot of fun swinging around a retro, slightly more pixelated New York City with a slightly more pixelated Spidey. Finally, at number 1 is Batman Begins. Alright, let's talk about a game that, despite being a movie tie-in, actually captured the gritty, grounded tone of Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins. For some reason, critics didn't really like this one, but I'm here to tell you, they are wrong. This Batman game isn't just a brawler. It's a stealth action game that emphasises Batman's fear tactics. You use the shadows to your advantage, create distractions, and terrify your enemies. It adds a hell of a lot of focus on psychological warfare, which fits perfectly with Nolan's vision in the Batman Begins movie. There are a lot of things in this game that eventually evolved into some of the mechanics in the Arkham games. The combat isn't just about punching and kicking, it's about martial arts, about using the environment and equipment to your advantage. You can grapple enemies, throw them into objects, and create a sense of chaos. It's brutal, but controlled, by Batman himself. And let's not forget the Batmobile sequences. These aren't just tacked on, they're actually fun. You can race through Gotham, chase down criminals, and unleash the Batmobile's arsenal. It makes a nice change of pace from the stealth and combat. The story follows the movie's plot, but also expands on it, giving us more insight into Batman's early days. The voice acting is top-notch too, with Christian Bale reprising his role of Batman, Michael Caine, Liam Neeson, Cillian Murphy and even Morgan Freeman all voicing their respective characters. It feels like playing through an extended version of the film. Sure, it wasn't perfect, the graphics were a bit dated and the controls could be a bit clunky at times, but it was a game that understood what made Batman Begins so special: the gritty realism, the focus on fear, and the character-driven story. So, if you're looking for a Batman game that's more grounded and tactical, that captures the essence of Nolan's first film, Batman Begins is your game. I actually have a couple of bonus ones here for you too. First up, Toy Story 3. Yep, a kids movie tie-in? Hear me out. The Toy Box mode, pure sandbox fun. You could build your own town, customise your toys, and just cause hilarious chaos. It was like a mini GTA for toys, and it was surprisingly addictive. Next, The Warriors, 2005. Rockstar's adaptation of the cult classic film. Brutal and brilliant. It captured the raw energy of the movie perfectly, with its gritty street brawls and gang warfare. Plus, the theft mechanics allowing you to steal everything from car stereos to looting goods from shops were top notch. It felt like you were leading your own gang through the streets of New York. Finally, we have Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. This recent release surprised many. The world is breathtaking, the flying is exhilarating, and the combat is surprisingly deep. It's a game that truly lets you explore the beauty and danger of Pandora, and it feels like a genuine expansion of the film's universe. And there you have it, folks. A dive into some of the best movie tie-in games that actually delivered. I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane. If you did, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future gaming deep dives. I've got plenty more content coming your way, from retro reviews to modern masterpieces. And if you're looking for more gaming goodness, check out these related videos on the screen. I think you'll enjoy them. But most importantly, I want to hear from you. What are your favourite movie tie-in games? Did I miss any hidden gems? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.